What is the crack, everyone? It's Ollie from B2B Sports here. That was a true tale of two halves, weren't it? Minnesota Vikings beat the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field 31-29. The Vikings got off to an absolutely incredible start. Whether it was the Vikings taking their foot off the gas a little bit, or all credit to them, whether the Green Bay Packers just came out with a little bit more fight and determination in the second half. Regardless, the Minnesota Vikings are 4-0 on the season. Dreamland stuff, to be honest. The only problem is the national media are starting to jump on the Vikings hype. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. I like to play the underdogs for a little bit longer, but the team, Sam Darnold and the head coaching staff are just doing too good of a job at the moment. At this point in the vid, smash the like button, give my channel a subscription. It means the world. We've had a couple new subscribers to the channel, and it's just giving me a real boost of motivation. It helps. It also helps when the Vikings are doing pretty well as well. Stay tuned for Chelsea, F1, UFC boxing content as well. We do it all on this channel. There's not that much hype needed about this rivalry. These teams go way back, divisional rivals, but this year feels a little bit different. Obviously you have Aaron Jones going back to Lambeau Field, had a hell of a career at Green Bay. You've got Jordan Love coming back from injury. Did they push him a little bit too soon? We'll delve into that in a minute. Also coupled up with the fact that these two teams are tipped to do very well this year. And oh my days, did the Vikings get a great start to this one. Sam Darnold going crazy yet again. Obviously Addison came back, which was a welcomed addition to the side. Back with a bang, back with a TD. He loves scoring TDs against the Packers. And honestly, when this offense gets firing, it's a problem. We've still got Hockenson to come back in a couple of weeks. Dalton Reisner to improve the offensive line as well. Man, this team has just got so many weapons. The second touchdown to Josh Oliver came swiftly after as well. Sam Darnold is just dealing, and so is KOC with the play calls. It was probably the most complete first half of NFL football of the Kevin O'Connell era, to be honest. The defense was absolutely shutting down Jordan Love. It almost looked like he was back a few weeks too early, to be honest. You know, he didn't look right throwing the ball, had no power. A lot of his throws were just dying into the ground. And honestly, at that point, I thought they had a better shot with Malik Willis playing. Into the second quarter now, Addison had another touchdown, this time with his legs. A little jet sweep number. I mean, we were 21-0 up, and it just got better. The Sam Darnold throw to Justin Jefferson in tight coverage. It was literally chef's kiss, man. It had to be the perfect pass right onto Jefferson's chest. He clawed it in, and yeah, perfect pass, perfect catch. That gritty celebration was personal as well. It was the get off me, son. I'm going to spin this ball and do my celebration. 28-0 up in Lambeau in the second quarter. I mean, this is where things started to take a little bit of a turn for the worse. There was a huge shift in momentum. My guy, speedy Jalen Naylor, I've been hyping you up all season, muffs the punt. Gets a little bit confusing. I think what Matt LaFleur was kicking off a little bit. In the end, the Packers pushed it in for a touchdown. 28-7 going into the half. A little bit sloppy there, can't make those mistakes. And yeah, that really needs to be where we're finishing it rather than letting teams back into it. The momentum swing continued into the second half. I mean, not too much happened in the third quarter. Offense looked a little bit sloppy. Defense just about did its job. But in the fourth quarter, we gave up too many big chunk plays. They were finding pockets in the cover two. Couldn't give the defense a break on offense. Just kept giving the ball back to them. Jordan Love was starting to look like the Jordan Love pre-injury. And that's what happens when you give confidence to good players. The Packers closed the gap to 22-28 with a few minutes left on the clock. But as poor as the second half was, this is what I respected about this Vikings team. We didn't lie over and die and let the inevitable comeback happen, which would have happened in the Vikings teams of old. Sam Darnold led a resilient drive downfield, looked for his target, his key man, Justin Jefferson. That sideline tiptoe catch was just out of this world. Will Reichard again sealing another important field goal for the Vikings. For some reason, he's just becoming one of my most liked Viking players this year. The Packers weren't done yet though. They came back again, scored another touchdown late on in the game to make it 29-31, the final score in the end. The Packers had 465 total yards on the game, and yeah, it was a different side to this Minnesota Vikings defense that we've seen in week 4 in comparison to the rest of the season. Their tactics in the second half changed a little bit, got a little bit conservative, took their foot off the gas. Maybe it was the heat, maybe it was the time of action on field, but we weren't seeing that blitz. We weren't seeing that disguise and the box of tricks that Brian Flores usually springs on quarterbacks. But nevertheless, the Vikings still got the dub away in Lambeau, which is always hard to come by. An important in-division win. Sam Darnold again has been dealing 11 touchdowns on the year now. I think he's clear by a couple of touchdowns to all quarterbacks in the league now. Remarkable stuff. He had 1 interception on the day, which was extremely questionable. Xavier McKinney didn't seem to have full control over that before going out of bounds. I mean, in the NFL, you're always going to have decisions like this. This is what I don't understand about the NFL sometimes. Their technology is so advanced, every scoring play is reviewed. But yet, you have decisions like this. Yet, you have the spot of the ball and the stick and chains comes out, and that's not accurate at all in the slightest. And again, late in the game, Jalen Naylor, they deemed his knee to have touched the floor. Well, in reality, in slow-mo replay, it didn't look like that, and he looked like he got a couple of vital extra yardage, which would have got the first down. But no, the stick and chains method works best, supposedly. Regardless of the decision, shout out McKinney as well. I think he's got an interception on every single game this year. Looking like a proper baller, and so did the whole Packers defense. To be fair, they came out to play in the second half, and as much as they're divisional rivals, you've got to give credit where credit's due. Aaron Jones had a great day back at Lambeau, 93 yards, 22 carries, just couldn't get in the end zone. Maybe Kevin O'Connell was trying to push for that a little bit too much. It's easy to say now in hindsight. Now you know that the Packers came back with a vengeance in that second half. Jefferson had a quietish day. Obviously, they got the touchdown in the first half. 85 yards, 6 receptions in the end. I'd like to see Jefferson get a few more targets. I understand he's going to be double teamed for the majority of this season, and understand the opportunities are going to open themselves up later on in the game. But he's so good, man. He's worth every single penny that we paid for him in the off-season. Wide receiver 1 in the National Football League, by far. And a guy that's just hard-working and wants to win. And I think all Vikings fans respect that. As I said earlier, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hockenson, Jordan Addison, Brandon Powell, Jalen Naylor. These offensive weapons are going to be a problem for the rest of the season. But there you have it, 4-0 on the season. We didn't make it look as easy as it should have done, considering everything that went on in the first half. But to go into Lambeau and get that dub, I would take that all day long. True tale of two halves, but definitely things to work on. But I like the fact that the Vikings had a little bit of adversity to work through. I like the fact that the Vikings got a little bit humbled. You want these guys to stay grounded. You want these guys to keep working and keep fighting. The job is not done until you've got a Super Bowl ring on your finger. Next up, the Vikings have the Jets in London. Gutted that I couldn't get tickets for the Vikings game this year, but it should be a hell of a show regardless. And it'll be nice to watch a 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon game for once. I'm sure the UK Vikings fans will show up and show out. I want to hear that SKOL chant loud through the TV. But I don't know what to make of the Jets this year. Aaron Rodgers doesn't look like the Aaron Rodgers of old. And he's not going to. He's 40 now, isn't he? It seems to be a little bit of friction going on between himself and the head coach already. He just doesn't look like he has the team around him, the team that he was promised, essentially. If we can continue to play the way we're playing, we could get a big win in London. And can you imagine 5-0 into the bye? Sound good, doesn't it? This is Dreamland stuff. I never ever thought this would happen. So sometimes I have to peel myself off the ceiling. What a season, but let's keep on rolling. But yes, Vikings fans, what do you make of the Green Bay Packers game? And what's your score predictions for the NFL game in London against the Jets? Thank you for watching and listening, everyone. You're a bunch of legends. SKOL Vikes, and peace out.